As we wait for the red lights to go out, Alain Prost lining up on the front row alongside his Emerson Fittipaldi. Wait now, they get off the line. It seems like Prost has a good start going into T1. Emerson Fittipaldi is under attack from the Benetton of Nelson Piquet. As they go too wide into turn 1, Emerson Fittipaldi on the inside. He might be able to get through. Now in P1, Emerson Fittipaldi still side by side, heading into turn 2. Nelson Piquet in third, then comes Satoru Nakajima, and then Ayrton Senna. Further back, everything seems to be going quite smoothly. Emerson Fittipaldi still leading here as they head down the long straightaway of Junggao. And Alain Prost now going for the move into Seoul. On the inside, let's see if he can pull off the move. And so he does. Nelson Piquet now closing up as well onto Emerson Fittipaldi. And Alain Prost immediately making a little bit of a gap to Emerson. Seems Emerson now under attack from Nelson Piquet. And Ayrton Senna is also trying to attack his teammate Satoru Nakajima, as they try to finish off this first lap of the 60 laps we are doing. Emerson Fittipaldi will surely come under attack now from Nelson Piquet. Yes, Nelson Piquet will try up the inside. Emerson squeezing him into the inside. Let's see. Oh, he cannot hold on. Piquet now through into P2, and Ayrton Senna now got through as well onto Satoru Nakajima and is now onto the back of Fittipaldi. Alain Prost still in the lead. Now about a second or so in front of Nelson Piquet. Seems to be managing so far. Now actually has the times update 1.7 seconds ahead of Nelson Piquet. Let's take a further look back here. Emerson Fittipaldi starting to drop back now. It seems Ferrari struggling a little bit on the straights here compared to the counterparts. He tries to hold on and come back at Senna, but to no avail, and now has Mario Andretti on the back of him. But it seems now with Slipstream Fittipaldi is able to hold on to the back of Senna. And this might be a scrap that lasts the race long. Obviously, teams do have different fuel levels. It's probably going to be a one-stopper here today. And, so yeah, we could see very differing strategies when it comes to that. Oh, almost 5 wide here, 3 wide first. With Theo Fabi, Stefan Johansson, Rene Arnoux. Oh, they have to back out a bit. As Alain Prost holds on. And Matsumoto now in 7th place. Side by side with Roberto Moreno. But Moreno not quite able to get past the straight line missile that is the Minardi. Minardi coming out strong for the first race here. It's definitely a really fast track here, so the Minardi can really stretch its legs. But now, Roberto Moreno in the slipstream up on the inside into Seoul. And he pulls off the move on Matsumoto. Alain Prost still in the lead, pulling a gap now as we see towards the back. There's a big scrap with Michael Andretti kind of being in between 2 groups here. Michael Andretti kind of just running his own pace here, but he is chasing down Jeff Lees in front of him. Also David Brabham and Theo Fabi in front of him. Oh, bit of an issue here. Bit of an issue for Thierry Bootsen. As he comes into the pit, it seems like it's an electrical issue for Thierry Bootsen, so he will have to come into the pit. This is not race ending, but he will have to make a pit stop, so the crew will have to maybe try to reconnect some wires or maybe reset the system. Obviously, some of these 1988 cars are now carrying a couple sensors here and there, and maybe they're disrupting the car. But as he comes out of the pit now, Thierry Bootsen should be able to carry on, even though he has a big deficit now to the front pack. And Alain Prost still leading in first place, but Ayrton Senna closing up now, 1.3 seconds in between the two. And Nelson Piquet now with an issue. Nelson Piquet with a braking issue. Let's hope he can make it back to the pits. Let's follow him around here. As we hear the radio call there, they're saying, Nelson, please try to get back to the pits. And we can now see Mario Andretti coming past, and he's just gonna get passed here by all the different cars now. Yep, look at that on the straightaway. Nelson is just managing that problem. Back to the pits, it seems. And he pulls off to the side, and yes, he can come into the pit, so not a race-ending issue either for Nelson Piquet, but definitely is gonna set him back quite a bit here as he comes into the pit. And also a very slow pit entry here, so the teams lose quite a bit of time with the pit stop. Now Alain Prost has Ayrton Senna on the back of him. Senna now pulling to the inside. Ooh, close there. Was a bit of an over-ambitious move, I think, from Senna. And nearly into the back of Prost there, but smart enough to back out at the last second. But now on the straightaway, it seems the Lotus just has a bit more power than the McLaren. And he pulls in front of Prost here, going into Sul once again. Now we go into Girau, or however you say that. I'm probably Portuguese managers can tell me how to say that. Then into Moret, and then into Lagoa. But Senna now taking the lead, quite demanding. But obviously, like I said before, Senna can be running a lower fuel load compared to Prost. We'll have to see once the pit stops come into play. Now Mario Andretti running in a solid P3. Minardi is really showing some pace now, as Moreno is still in a epic battle with Matsumoto. They head onto the straightaway, and Moreno does pull alongside. And Stefan Johansson as well. Does Matsumoto have an issue? No, he does not, but he is locking up. He is making mistakes, Matsumoto. Bit of a lockup there into the first corner of Molikoch. And now dropped back to P9. Is still gonna try and hang on to the back of Stefan Johansson now, as the two Arrows have pulled alongside of him. So Arrows in P7 and 8 doing a really decent job here. So your runners right now are Ayrton Senna in P1, Alain Prost in P2, Mario Andretti P3, Emerson Fittipaldi P4, Satoru Nakajima and Ligier P5 doing a really decent job. As we see Matsumoto now in front of Johansson again, so in P8. And then in front of him Roberto Moreno. And then in 10th place Jeff Brabham. So Jeff Brabham in the Williams. Williams wasn't looking great at the start of the season, at pre-season. Not looking too promising after coming off of that World Championship winning season last year in '87. So obviously this isn't the position they would like to be in, but it definitely looks better already than than the preseason as Jeff Brabham tries to put a nose in, but Stefan Johansson covering off the inside of Molikoch. And now Nigel Mansell here in the March Leighton house. Seems to be struggling, P17 right now. So Mansell came to March Leighton house here to... Seemingly he believed in the project, and obviously they had a world-class designer in Adrian Newey designing World Championship winning car designs in IndyCar and sports car racing. But so far, that pretty looking March not really having the best of times, as Jeff Brabham still trying to challenge Stefan Johansson. And Ayrton Senna still expanding that lead in the front of the race. Alain Prost in second and Andretti in third. But Jeff Brabham just hounding the back of Johansson, and now Rene Arnoux has gotten onto the back of that three-way fight now. Jeff Brabham still trying, but again Johansson just holding on, squeezing him to the inside and then covering off that corner pretty well. But in all this fighting, Rene Arnoux is catching up to the back of them, and possibly Theo Fabi will do very soon as well. You can see him in the background there. Now back to our leader, Alain Prost in second. Got them mixed up there for a second, but Alain doing a very good job. Just running his race in second, currently not being able to hold on to Senna. Doing a very decent job so far, and again, he could be running a higher fuel load. You can actually check that real quick. Yes, so we can confirm Ayrton Senna running a much lower fuel load than Alain Prost, so that might be something we have to keep an eye on. Once the pit stops come into play, Alain is gonna have a way faster second stint, and Senna is gonna have to do a long stint for his second stint. Now also Eddie Cheever in the March. Oh, locking up there as he goes into the gravel pit. He spins. Let's see if he can get the car out of there. Oh, it's gonna be tricky if he's stuck in the gravel. Oh, this could be the end of Eddie Cheever's race. Can he get the car moving? Doesn't seem that way. Maybe he's just waiting for the traffic to clear up. Can he move? Oh, and someone else is off, Stefan Johansson. Oh, and he seems to be stuck as well. So in one lap, two cars getting stuck in the gravel pit, I believe. So Eddie Cheever and Stefan Johansson might be stuck here. You can see Johansson trying to get his car moving. Oh, he is getting some sort of traction, but oh, he might not be able to get it out. Let's see. Oh, he is moving a little bit. He might be able to get it unstuck here. He just needs a lot of time. Obviously, he's going to be at the back of the pack here. That's going to be a big struggle, but Mika Hakkinen now with an oil leak. Oh, Stefan Johansson gets the car out of the gravel pit. Heroic effort there. But he gets it unstuck eventually, as we're on lap 10 now, and he will carry on. And oh, Mika Hakkinen with an engine fire here. Seems to be an oil leak as Nelson Piquet comes through now. Nelson obviously having that brake issue earlier in the race. But Mika Hakkinen, that's definitely the end of the race. Please, the young Hakkinen should definitely park up the car there, and he is gonna do so. Let's hope the marshals can put out that fire and get Hakkinen to safety. He is pulling over there, so yeah, he will pull over there. Not the best of views to see what's going on, but I'm sure the marshals will be helping them out. And yes, you can see they are gonna push the car away now, and the engine fire is put out. So one of the Ligiers now out of the race, and they will be clearing up that car. Stefan Johansson, you can see now, has gotten underway, but in the meantime has lost about 20 seconds or so to the back of the field, which was Thierry Bootsen. Ayrton Senna now still in first place, and David Brabham not doing the greatest of jobs here for McLaren. You can see his teammate Alain Prost in second. And David, yeah, just not quite getting in the groove with this car, it seems. So it seems McLaren does have a very good package. Just not quite getting along with it. And we have Alain Prost still in second. There's other fights going on here. Satoru Nakajima defending from Roberto Moreno. So Moreno has gotten away from Matsumoto behind and is now onto the back of Nakajima and trying to challenge for that 6th position, which obviously is going to be the last point paying position. So Moreno really trying to pick up that point. So far not able to. As we'll see now, I think they're heading into Norte and then onto the Strait of Juncao. Yes, they are. Let's see now if Moreno can try something on the straightaway in the slipstream. Getting a good run, pulling alongside onto the inside of Toul. Yes, Moreno pulls into the points now. P6 for Roberto Moreno, doing a great job here. And Moreno now into P6 and might be chasing down Hoshino next, as he immediately pulls a bit of a gap to Nakajima behind. But obviously we will know with the Lotus it's a strong car as well, and Nakajima will be trying to chase down Moreno. But it seems Moreno has it under control. Let's see, into turn 1. It doesn't seem like Nakajima has the legs to quite catch up as we head into lap 12 with these cars. Yeah, Senna now with a 10-second lead or so. Patrick de Wolf now on Rene Arnoux into P11. And Jeff Brabham now up into P9 ahead of Theo Fabi. Yeah, Jeff Brabham really making the most of that Williams package, which is not too competitive this year, and he's really bringing the neck out of that one. But one of the Brabham brothers doing really well, the other one not so much. Toru Nakajima now has gotten past Moreno once again, and it seems like this might be a bit of a battle throughout the race now, as we're only in lap 13. As you can see, Moreno just trying to come back at Nakajima, but it seems these drivers and cars are just so closely matched that it's hard to get a difference here. But obviously we have that long straight of Juncao, and that allows the drivers to catch back up again. Oh, as Moreno pulls in behind Nakajima again, that was very close. As Ayrton Senna is now still in P1, about 11 seconds ahead of Prost. And let's see here, Patrick de Wolf has some sort of issue.
Try and
Ooh,
get
white
back.
smoke. White smoke and another radio message of the team saying, try to get back to the pits, please. And the Wolf will try to do so, but you can see the white smoke billowing out of the back of the Zack Speed. So, white smoke usually means some kind of water leak. And he will try to nurse that car back to the pits, but that's going to be a tough ask, obviously, when that water... when that water runs out, it's going to be very difficult for the engine. And yes, he is going to pull off there. A bit of a hop over the curb, but yeah, that's the end of the race. The end of the race for Patrick the Wolf there. So another car out, this time being the Zack Speed. So you see now the Marshal gonna push that car to the side of the barrier, and then it's gonna get lifted over. Unfortunately, one of the Zack Speeds now out of the race. In the meanwhile now, Alain Prost still trying to catch up to Senna, but to no avail for now. Obviously, we do know these drivers are running quite different fuel loads, so we'll have to see after the pit stops how that plays out, but it seems Senna is definitely quite dominant at this point. And now let's take a look back here. Michael Andretti reported to have a throttle problem.
Try and get back.
You see now he's heading down the straightaway of Juncao. He's trying to probably get that back to the pits, but it's gonna be difficult. You can see now as well Jeff Lees catching up to the back of the Tyrrell of Michael Andretti. And surely Lees will get past here. Ooh, Andretti bit of a roadblock at the moment, but Lees gets past there. Then we can see like now Nelson Piquet as well in P14. He is fighting his way back up the field now. Had that brake issue at the start of the race, but now really putting his foot down and getting that working. But Michael Andretti makes it back to the pits. Not quite sure if he will be able to fuel up the car for till the end of the race and maybe salvage something, but we'll have to see how that plays out. You can see now Emerson Fittipaldi with Kazuyoshi Hoshino in front of him, and Roberto Moreno now in P6. Moreno has managed to actually free himself from Nakajima and is now on the gearbox of Fittipaldi. So Fittipaldi will have to make that move on Hoshino pretty quickly here if he wants to make sure that Moreno doesn't get past him. But I think actually Hoshino might have gotten past Fittipaldi here a couple of laps ago. Yes, Fittipaldi trying to fight back here. Probably waiting for that long straight to make use of the Ferrari engine. Go on to the main straight now. And tries on the inside. Hoshino will try to squeeze him, but Fittipaldi tries to make it work, but Hoshino just carrying a lot more speed around the outside, and now Moreno again on the back there. And they can't be doing too much of this fighting, or Matsumoto will also catch up once again. Now on to the long straight of Juncao. And surely Fittipaldi here will find a way past in the slipstream. Oh, he's trying, but it's a tough one. And Hoshino again squeezing him to the inside. Oh, side by side, nearly touching wheels there. But Fittipaldi gets through into P4. And now Kazuyoshi Hoshino probably under attack from Moreno. As we will just keep following Hoshino around. And now Ayrton Senna in the meanwhile entering lap 17 out of 60. Yeah, Moreno really trying to take advantage of these two guys in front of him. Squabbling, and you can see as well Matsumoto has caught up now. Going slightly defensive now, Fittipaldi, and is able to cover that corner off, but close fight here between the Ligier and Ferrari. And then there's the Arrows car of Moreno and the Lotus of Nakajima there, ready to pick up the pieces if any of these guys make a mistake. As we can see now, Hoshino there with a small mistake, going defensive. Moreno right on the gearbox. As they once again head onto the long straight. And Moreno now pulls alongside and actually has a lot of overspeed here. And Moreno fighting for P5 now, goes to the inside. Let's see, can he carry that speed? Yes, he can, up into P5. Roberto Moreno in the Arrows car, and he is doing a magnificent job. And Hoshino now possibly under attack from Satoru Nakajima. So Hoshino desperately trying to hold on to that last point paying position. He might lose that soon. And someone we haven't seen too much of, Mario Andretti. And as well here, Rene Arnoux in a close fight now with his teammate Nelson Piquet, but I'm sure Piquet will be getting past Arnoux here soon. Again, Piquet doing a magnificent job as well with that brake problem at the start. And here is David Bravo running in P16. Again, David just not having the greatest of times in this McLaren, but he's trying his best. Maybe he can salvage something later on in the race, but right now he's just not looking up to pace. Obviously his first actual race in an F1 car as well, so can't really blame him. Senna now still in the lead, and Johansson still trying to catch up after that early issue with his, I believe that was his throttle. Can't quite remember now. Al Unser Jr. Onto the straightaway now. Al as well, just kind of in no man's land in P14. But probably ready to pick up the scraps as well if someone makes a mistake or has a mechanical issue. Meanwhile now, Alain Prost still holding on, and Jeff Brabham now onto the back of Theo Fabi. No, the Williams, not the best car, but Jeff Brabham really trying his best here. But you can just see that Ferrari seems to have a lot more power on the straights. Even with the slipstream, Brabham isn't quite getting past. Which seems for Fabi at the moment is the only saving grace for him to stay in P9. As we head onto the straightaway once again, let's see if Jeff Brabham can actually do something with the slipstream. But you can see just doesn't seem to get close enough even with that slipstream. The Williams just quite, or seemingly at least, quite slow on the straights. See in the corners it's actually hooking up quite nicely, as he does gain quite a bit of time onto Fabi there, but obviously on a track like Jacarepagua, it is very hard to pass if you don't have that straight line speed. Now we have Jeff Lees as well, chasing down René Arnoux. See now PK has gotten past René Arnoux and has already pulled a 2-second gap, so PK really trying his hardest to fight back up into point paying positions. See now Roberto Moreno in P4, actually pulling a gap to Satoru Nakajima and Fittipaldi behind, so really going well in the arrows for Moreno. Now have Fittipaldi possibly attacking Nakajima? No. Not this lap. We can still see Hoshino in the background there, holding on. Nakajima doing a good job here in P5. Obviously his teammate Senna in P1, some 40 seconds ahead of Nakajima, so you can really see the difference in driver quality between the two, but regardless it seems Nakajima's still in those point paying positions. Is a very solid second driver. And obviously the package, the Lotus package. Oh, big mistake there from Fittipaldi, and now Hoshino is right onto the back as he will try to put his nose in. Yeah, big lock up there by Emerson Fittipaldi, which will make him drop back from Nakajima. So, even though Emerson is still seemingly very quick on his older days, he is putting in a good effort, but it seems the Ferrari just lacking a little bit of an edge on the Brazilian circuit here. Not going quite as well as in preseason, as he goes wide once again. And a bit of a mistake from Fittipaldi, and he's now dropping back. So yeah, a couple of mistakes there, so not feeling quite as comfortable as he should in the car so far. And now has dropped back out of the point-paying positions. See now there, Matsumoto in the back as well. And still Ayrton Senna in the lead here on the straight of Juncao. Just a dominating performance here. And we now try to take a look here. Jeff Lees.
Try and get back.
Going slow now. Dropping back from the field. Is still going past the pits. Even though he seemingly has an issue. But let's just follow him around, see what happens here. Oh yes, another leak there for Jeff Lees, but oh no, Fittipaldi here with a suspension there. Yeah, you can see the wheel lifted up on Fittipaldi's car there, and he has a suspension failure, which will immediately put him out of the race here. So one of the two Ferraris now out of the race. That is horrible. That is horrible to see for Ferrari. So Ferrari and Williams both a car out now on the same lap. This means there will be 5 retirements so far in this race, and we're only a third of the way. Granted, one retirement, Eddie Cheever, wasn't a reliability issue. He spun off. It was a driver error. Spun off into the gravel and got stuck. Oh. for reliability issues here. Obviously, coming into the season, we thought it would be tough on reliability. Obviously, F1 is making strides, leaps and bounds in the reliability department, but obviously, as we've seen from previous years, it's really hard to build a fast and reliable car at the same time. But Senna now still leading here, about 13 seconds. 13 seconds on Alain Prost. And obviously, we're still waiting on when Senna is going to pit and when Prost is going to pit. Senna still carrying on into lap 24 here. Still trying to extend that gap to Prost. Mario Andretti still in third. And Al Unser in the Tyrrell as well, doing a decent job here with his white and red helmet there. Marlboro themed helmet, obviously. Unser bringing in Marlboro as a sponsor into Tyrrell, so that obviously makes him a bit more desirable. Does bring in that personal sponsor, which is I can only assume has helped out Tyrrell quite a bit. Nigel Mansell now in 13th. Oh, and there is a bit of an issue now as we go back to Mario Andretti. Mario Andretti has a throttle issue as he heads onto the back straight. And it's still about half a lap to go until he can get into the pit and maybe resolve that issue, but he first has to make it, of course. So Mario Andretti will drop back. You can see now Roberto Moreno ready to pounce into P3, which would be a really big achievement for the Aeros car here, but he gets held up by Andretti here a little bit, and surely he gets past now. Yes, he does. Andretti nursing the car around, trying his best just to get the car around, and you can see now Nakajima as well trying to pull past, but yes, it does seem like Andretti will be able to get into the pits, and he will fix that issue. Obviously, the question being, can he fuel up to make the end of the race and therefore eliminate a bit of the issue that he has been having? So obviously they will have to check that throttle and make sure they can maybe unblock it or solve the issue that's going on. So into the pits there, they will change the tires, add some more fuel. Question being if they can add enough fuel. And he goes out again. So Mario Andretti might still be due to pit once more. Now Roberto Moreno also getting his pit call, so Moreno went for the shorter stint at the start, and it has really paid off as he's gone from P11 up into P3, so a really great performance for Moreno so far. And obviously the home crowd will be cheering as there is now a Brazilian driver in P1 and P3. You know, Moreno should be heading into the pits here, and yes, he does. We'll try to keep an eye on where he comes out, and it should also be that. Take a look here. Oh, someone has stopped somewhere. Oh, what has happened here? Kazuyoshi Hoshino with a big accident, it seems. We can't quite figure out what happened, but he's missing a right front wheel, so might have hit something coming into the pits. Might have lost control, but that's That's the two Ligiers out of the race now. So the two Ligiers have retired, and that will be the end of their Grand Prix season. Oh, but it seems like he's hit Al Unser Jr. because the back of that Tyrrell is all exposed, so maybe something happened between those two drivers. I'm not quite sure. You can see there the engine cowl on the back is just missing from that Tyrrell. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way. Maybe it's just flown off of Al Unser Jr.'s car, but it doesn't seem like that is quite right, as Senna is now into the pits. And I'm sure Alain Prost will take over the lead. 6.9 seconds, which is a fast pit stop for Ayrton Senna. And obviously he will have fueled up now for the rest of the race. And it will be interesting to see now how much longer Alain Prost decides to go. And we follow him along here. And we will wait here a little bit to see what the split is now between Senna and Prost. But if Prost is running a lot more fuel, it could come down to who has the fresher tires at the end. That might be very interesting to see. So Senna now about 10 seconds behind, so obviously he will comfortably take the lead again once Prost pits. But obviously Prost, once he pits, he will be on a low fuel load, he will have fresh tires, and he might be able to fight back. Oh, big mistake there. Ayrton Senna has made a mistake. He's spun. So he's lost a load of time there. Down to 18 seconds now. I believe he might have even lost more, but that's at least 8 seconds lost there for Senna. So crucial mistake there towards the middle part of this race, which might give an edge to Prost now whenever he comes into pit. Let's see as the standings update here. Let's see how much of a difference that has actually made as he comes across the line. Let's see what the difference is. 17.9, so yes, 8 or so seconds lost for Ayrton Senna, which might be crucial at the end of the race. Which now actually allows Notoru Nakajima to also close up onto Senna, only 5 or so seconds behind. So with all of these retirements, we can now see Nigel Mansell up into P12. So not the worst position to be in for the March team. Surely it'll give him a bit of confidence that they aren't stuck in that P17 anymore. So Mansell also moving up 5 positions from his starting positions, starting in P17. As Jeff Brabham now comes into the pit as well. Let's see here.
Pit at the end of this lap.
Another issue here. Nigel Mansell actually. We were just talking about it with a loose wheel. So,
try and get back.
Mansell hasn't come into the pits yet. And he might be able to do now. Let's see here. And it's a long way to go for Mansell, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he's only now on the straight of Juncao. And yeah, he will have to pull off. So Mansell out of the race now for the March team. As we were just talking about him. Unfortunately, his race comes to an end with a loose wheel. And everything is kicking off now as Al Unser Jr. with a water leak. So Unser trying to make it back.
Try and get back.
As we can hear on the radio with Thierry Bootsen now closing in on him. And the Tyrrell of Unser. No, he's just gonna run past the pits, so maybe he realizes There's just an issue that can't be fixed. Might have lost engine power even before the pits and thought it was better to pull off on a safer part of the track near the marshal there. So Al Unser Jr. now also out of the race. They are dropping like flies here at the very high speed Jacarepagua or Jacarepagua. Yeah, so Al Unser Jr. also out of the race. And this means now that Stefan Johansson will be able to move his Aeros car up into P14. Obviously, bit of an unfortunate race for him so far, as Senna is now catching up to him in the Lotus. So Stefan about to be lapped by the second running car. And he is putting up a fight a little bit here, it seems, but not too much of one. Just doesn't want to lose too much advantage during his lap. But yeah, Johansson needs a bit of a miracle at this point to get anything out of this race. Nakajima still running in P3, and Thierry Bootsen now up into the top 10 with the issues of the other cars. So, single sack speed still running as Alain Prost is still in the lead. And Nelson Piquet has done a heroic effort here, fighting up back into P5 after having that brake issue at the start of the race. So, only 40 or so seconds behind the leaders, and Piquet really putting in a big effort. But now Ayrton Senna slowly closing up to Alain Prost. We can see David Brabham there with a little bit of a lockup. Again, not having the greatest of times in the McLaren. Multiple pit calls coming in now. So we have Theo Fabi coming in. We also have Thierry Bootsen coming in, and then Satoru Nakajima also just got his pit call, so he's gonna come in the next lap. Here he is. And then Nelson Piquet still carrying on so far. And Alain Prost still pushing on in P1. See here, Alain doing a very good job, but Senna just keeps on catching. Obviously, Alain will be on those old tires, and he has gone much longer on his tires. So obviously, we will try and see here where he is gonna pit, but it should be one of the coming laps here if he really wants to get anything out of this, because at this rate, Senna is just gonna catch up to the back of him, and that whole pit stop is gonna be a whole pit stop behind, basically. Bootsen now coming out of the pit, and a 6.8 second stop, which is really fast here. Keiji Matsumoto in trouble. White smoke billowing out of the back, and a fire, engine fire for Keiji Matsumoto. Big fire there, big fire in the back of that car, and he's electing not to go in the pits. Obviously, it'd be very dangerous to drive in the pits with an engine fire, with all the refueling systems. He's gonna... Oh, careful there, Matsumoto. He's gonna pull off near the marshal post there as he takes off a front left wheel in his hurry. And the marshal's now rushing over, trying to put the fire out, and they do so. And that is one of the Minardi cars now out. So that will promote Rene Arnoux up into P7. Drivers still yet to make a pit stop. Alain Prost in P1, Rene Arnoux in P7. David Brabham in P12 and Stefan Johansson in P14. I think, if I remember correctly now, I think Johansson got stuck in a gravel trap actually at the start of the race. I was trying to remember it, but now I do, and eventually he got out. But it took him too long, and now he is just stuck in P14, soon to be P13. But, Rene Arnoux here doing a decent job, but I do think after once he pits here, he might end up in P8 or P9. Seems Andretti has to come in for another pit stop. And slowly now, as we're over the halfway mark, we're still waiting for Prost to come in. Make a bit of a mistake there from Johansson again as he heads onto the straight. And Andretti now into the pits. And Andretti will now take some fresh tires, fuel up for the rest of the race, and then he will be chasing down the likes of Bootsen and Brabham, I imagine. Let's see now. Senna is onto the back of Bootsen here. And he is catching up to Prost, so Prost again going very long here. And one might wonder if he might have chosen the wrong strategy, because Senna is catching up at an incredible pace right now. Prost just holding out now, still no pit call for Prost. So he's looking to really shorten that second stint. Try to make it up with a lot of pace towards the end of the race with a tire advantage. You can see there Ayrton Senna hunting him down in the back. It seems like Senna is almost gaining a second per lap at this rate, so Prost must be coming in here soon now. As David Brabham also gets called into the pit. And Prost still carrying on there, but you can see Senna closing up and closing up. So as we're in lap 35 now, the question remains to be seen, will Prost's long run end up paying off here? And Moreno now still running in P4 with Andretti and Satoru Nakajima hunting him down. Obviously, we know Moreno probably went for a bit of a lighter fuel load than the two cars behind. Still doing a very good job as Brabham now comes into the pits. Obviously, Moreno will be hoping that the Minardi and Lotus behind will fight, which they are gonna do. Nakajima pulls alongside now onto the inside into Sul. And he gets the run on the inside and is now up into P5. So 2 Lotuses inside the top 6. And 1 possibly looking at a win. Nakajima now probably gonna do his best here to chase down Moreno. Now we can see Alain Prost probably gonna get passed here by Ayrton Senna in the slipstream. He does, he pulls along to the inside at the end of Juncao. And he is gonna get past pretty easily here. It just seems Prost has used up his tires at this point. And surely McLaren must be looking at this now and thinking, are we gonna pit Prost? Because at this rate he's just gonna drop back, and I mean he might even come under attack by Moreno and the likes of Nakajima and Andretti if they're not careful. But Senna all out dominant today. And definitely a good start to the season if he can hold on to this. As Nelson Piquet now gets called into the pit, and now McLaren has reacted maybe a little too late, and they're gonna pull Alain Prost in next lap. I still see here Satoru Nakajima closing up to Moreno. And Mario Andretti following as well. Nelson Piquet now also into the pits. And obviously this again promotes Moreno, Nakajima and Andretti 1 position higher. But Moreno again putting up a staunch defense into turn 1 as he will try to squeeze Satoru Nakajima. They go side by side, and Moreno carrying more speed there around the outside. And he will hold on for now. So once again, Nakajima trying to squeeze his nose past, but Moreno not giving up and putting up a big defense here. And now on to the straightaway. Surely the Lotus will have a look here, but he is having some trouble pulling alongside, but does get the overspeed now, and Moreno will surely have to slot in behind. Yes, he does. Has to be careful now that he doesn't lose the position to Mario Andretti. And he doesn't. So Prost now out of the pits, but surely has lost a bucket load of time compared to Senna. We'll see now if he can catch up, but it's going to be a difficult task with 22 laps remaining. Moreno now dropping back to P4, but still on the back of that Lotus. And Mario Andretti also hunting down Moreno. And they will be heading into turn 1. Andretti now on the inside. Does he have enough grip? No, Moreno once again on the outside, but you must question now, is it worth for Moreno to fight this as much as they are? Because he might be able... Oh, bit of a collision there. Bit of a collision between Moreno and Andretti. Doesn't seem like anyone has damage, but that has probably lost him a bit of time compared to Nakajima in front now. And Alain Prost now a good 32.5 seconds behind Ayrton Senna. And now stuck behind a bit of traffic. Is the arrows of Johansson. So Prost must now try to push as hard as he can, get past his arrows as quick as he can. Gonna be tough to do. He does manage to get in front now, and he has to put in some insane laps here in the last 20 or so laps. But it seems like a bit of an impossible task at this point in time. So now Mario Andretti running it in P4. Minardi holding up well, even though Matsumoto has dropped out. It seems Andretti is running his race up in P4 here, and slowly pulling away now from Moreno behind. He might be able to challenge Nakajima in a couple of laps if he keeps this up. Rene Arnoux now being called into the pits as well, so not the best race for Arnoux here, as he will now come into the pits, and that will surely put him behind Jeff Brabham. Not sure if that will put him behind Thierry Bootsen and Andretti, but we will have to see once that plays out. Now I think Stefan Johansson also coming into the pits here. Johansson haven't made that pit yet, but we already clarified Johansson was stuck in the gravel pit at the start of this race and is now just coming in for his scheduled pit stop. Obviously Arnoux will also be coming in. Now, Teo Fabi, just on the cusp of points there, is a good 10 or so seconds behind Nelson Piquet, but obviously holding on now as his teammate Fittipaldi has dropped out of the race with a suspension failure. And Alain Prost now on the hunt for Ayrton Senna. Does seem Prost has a bit of an edge, but will be hard for him to catch up those 31 seconds or so. It will require a very masterful stint from Prost to even consider catching up. So far, very good here for Lotus. P1 and P3, which will score them quite a bit of points in the Constructors' Championship. And Moreno now dropping back from Andretti and Nakajima. The three have about 2 seconds in between of them. Moreno obviously going for that lighter fuel load earlier on in the race. Now dropping back as he is on that heavier fuel load. Obviously more stress on those tires, and the Arrows is now suffering, but still P5 would be very solid for Moreno here today. Now again at Nakajima. So Nakajima still in P3. slowly edging a gap to Mario Andretti, but still only about 3.5 seconds between the two of them. But Nakajima obviously doing a very solid job here, bringing up the rear for Lotus. And I'm sure Lotus will be delighted if they can manage to pull off a P1 and P3 here in the first race. Now we look at Thierry Bootsen. So Thierry Bootsen in the Zach Speed, the Belgian, having a quite solid race. Obviously qualified in P20, so made up 11 positions. So surely Eddie Sum, the manager of Zach Speed, will be delighted with this result, even though it doesn't mean points. He is in a good position here just to prove that Zach Speed is in the challenge, and obviously, if I'm not mistaken, that will mean a bit more funds compared to the drivers ending outside of the top 10. Bootsen doing a decent job here. He was obviously cast out by Benetton. Benetton has now gone for the championship winning Nelson Piquet. And that did seem like for a while that Bootsen wasn't gonna have a seat this year, but then right at the end he got recruited by Zach Speed. Obviously trying to make the most of it, proving that he is worth keeping around in F1. So let's hope he makes it to the end. That would be a solid result for the Zach Speed team. Doing a very good job for the Minardi team. Got a very recognizable gray and red helmet with a red stripe above it, across it. You now see Nelson Piquet also has done a wonderful job here. You can see he's made 2 pit stops. Did have an issue at the start of the race and has made up all that time, so very nice drive by Nelson Piquet there. Nelson in a position to maybe even slowly hunt down Moreno here, as he still has 15 laps to do so, and it does seem like he might be able to catch up. Looking at preseason, Benetton wasn't looking quite solid, but it does seem as with the upgrade round they have really picked up the pace, and now PK, well, at the start of course, able to fight for maybe even podium positions. But obviously with that issue he has dropped back, and now fighting for possibly a P5 as he's coming close to Roberto Moreno's gearbox. Only about 3.5 or so seconds between the two. And Moreno will obviously desperately be trying to hold up or hold on to those P5. It seems like it's a bit inevitable at this point. We'll just keep following PK around because obviously with a lot of these cars dropping out, this is probably the closest thing to a fight we're gonna get on track. You can see now as well in the background are Stefan Johansson coming down the Strait of Jungao. And we're just waiting here for Nelson Piquet to catch up to Roberto Moreno in front, the other Brazilian. At the moment, 3 Brazilians, 3 out of 6 in the top 6. Brazilians in that top 6, and then 1 Japanese driver, 1 American, then a Frenchman. Oh! Satoru Nakajima now with an engine issue. Oh no, this is horrible for the Lotus squad. Satoru Nakajima in P3, and this might be the end of his race. Does seem though, smoke billowing out of the back. Oh, and that is horrible to happen in the last quarter of the race here for Nakajima. Yes, and he's lost engine power there, so pulls off to the side of the track. That is horrible for Nakajima there, was running so solidly in P3. And now has to pull off to the side. See the yellow flags coming out there. Now the marshals will try to bring that car in safety. That means the Lotus of Nakajima is out now, which promotes Mario Andretti up into the podium positions. Obviously is very solid for the Minardi squad. I'm sure their manager, Martin de Knecht, is looking on and smiling as his plans are coming to fruition. Obviously, in preseason, we've looked at the Minardi squad, and even though their engine is looking like probably the most powerful engine out on the grid, we honestly didn't believe it could make it to the end. But as we can see now, Mario Andretti is in reach of those points now, and he only has 13 or so laps to go until he gets those points. So he just at this point has to nurse the car and get it to the end. So let's hope he can do so. Slowly we've seen Alain Prost catching up to Ayrton Senna, but he hasn't caught up enough. It doesn't seem like Prost will be able to do enough to catch up to Senna today. I think possibly the McLaren squad should have considered pitting a bit sooner to be able to challenge Senna, especially when he made that mistake. That was probably should have been the call to then pit to be able to be closer and to put up that fight. But regardless, Prost still pushing on, still trying to get closer and prove that he is in the fight with the Lotus of Senna. as we are following Senna around now. Again, just a masterful drive from the Brazilian. In front of the Brazilian crowd, he will be delighted if he gets this car home in P1. As he comes up to the back of, I believe that is Teo Fabi, yes, the only remaining Ferrari at this point. You want to take a look here at Jeff Brabham, obviously. Like I said, Williams not looking very strong in preseason, but Jeff Brabham just outside of the points here in P7, so just has a bit of luck here. He could end up with 1 point here today, and he's done a really solid job getting that Williams up the order like he's done. Obviously also taking advantage of the cars dropping out, but in the end, you can't fault him for that. He has done what he needs to do today and just get that car home now, and with a bit of luck ends up in the points. Roberto Moreno now still holding on to P5. You can see now 7 or so seconds behind Nelson Piquet, so has really dropped back. Yeah, Moreno putting in a good effort. Definitely that first stint created a bit of distance, but in the end, that higher fuel load not working that well with the arrows and just dropping back a little bit there, but still solid 5 for Moreno so far. Now Michael Andretti, the Tyrrell, carrying on in the top 10. And now Nelson Piquet actually fighting. Let's see if we can get a better view on that. So Mario Andretti fighting for that P3 as Piquet has now caught up to him. Obviously we know that Minardi has a lot of straight line speed, so Mario is best. This is the Mario 4-time Indy champion and also a 1-time World F1 championship winner. See that now as he is defending from Piquet, the other champion. And good effort here, that Minardi really using that straight line speed. You can see it just pulling a gap, even though has that issue. Oh no. Jeff Brabham with an engine issue. Oh no, in the last 10 laps of the Grand Prix, Jeff Brabham is gonna drop out with an engine issue. You can hear there's no engine sound anymore. So he's unfortunately gonna drop out here, and he was doing so well. Let's see here, the marshals should be clearing this up pretty soon here. That is such a shame, and René Arnoux now with some sort of leak. Brabham out of the race, and another driver here with an issue.
Try and get back.
You can now see René Arnoux, and it does seem Arnoux has lost engine power, so he's just gonna pull off to the side here. Still going, but I think he's gonna pull off here at any second. Definitely losing a lot of time to Michael Andretti behind him. Really is gonna pull off somewhere here. Yeah, he has no power, near to no power here, René Arnoux. Yeah, there comes the white smoke out of the back of the car. Really has to find some kind of safe place here. Pull over the car as we're in lap 51. Shame here for the Benetton squad as Arnoux is onto the straight now. He might pull off somewhere here, but if he nurses this car back, that would be an absolute miracle. Yeah, no sound anymore from that engine, so he is gonna pull off to the side here somewhere. That is very unfortunate for Rene Arnoux, and now David Brabham behind there, moving up into P9. So lots of retirements at the start of the season here. Seems like most of the teams haven't quite gotten their reliability of their cars under control. We can see now Rene Arnoux unfortunately being pushed to the side by the marshals. And now we move back to this fight here. Mario Andretti defending from Nelson Piquet. Mario doing a really good job. He's been fighting off Piquet now for the past 3 or 4 laps already. Is managing just to stay ahead. As Piquet now pulls off to the side, but again you can see that Minardi just superior straight line speed here. But Piquet pounding the back of that Minardi. Now, again, showing his nose, but not quite enough. Might be waiting for that straight to pounce. Use that slipstream. Maybe get a bit of overspeed, but it will be very tough to do that because that Minardi is an absolute missile on the straight. You can see PK even has trouble pulling alongside on the straight. And he will have to pull back behind. Oh no! Ayrton Senna now! White smoke also coming out of the back of Senna's car. Big issues here. Lap 53 of 60. And a big engine fire there. Big engine fire of Ayrton Senna. He's desperately trying to keep moving. But surely he can't continue like that. Surely he has to get out of the car here. He's trying to continue, but it's a desperate attempt, and here now he's lost engine power. So in the last 7 laps, that is an absolute dramatic finish to the race here, as Senna is gonna have to retire in the last 7 laps. Pulls off to the side there. Surely gonna get out of the car real quick now. Man, is that a twist at the end of the race here, and that does mean Alain Prost is gonna move up into the lead of the race. So McLaren now in P1, and unfortunately Lotus with a double retirement, which is quite unexpected. So Alain Prost into P1, Mario Andretti into P2, so far at least, when Piquet is pounding the back of him, but Piquet is trying once again, trying to pull alongside, but see that Minardi just pulling and pulling and pulling on the straights, and Piquet slots back in. So Mario Andretti doing a really good job. We'll move up into P2, as you can see now. Nelson Piquet in P3, and Roberto Moreno now back into P4 soon enough here. And then we have Theo Fabi, who will move up into P5 after he's passed Senna. And that does mean the Zach speed of Thierry Bootsen will move up into the points, and they'll possibly get 1 point, which would be a very, very, very nice achievement for the Zach speed team if they manage to do this. Prost now with a very comfortable lead, 50 seconds over the nearest car, so he has to just nurse the car home, and that will be a very solid result for McLaren then. Obviously the teammate David Brabham not doing the best job, but still, if McLaren can get a double finish here, with one being the top amount of points, they'll be very happy, I think. But unfortunately now, Senna dropping back down the order. And this is gonna be a sad day for the manager. for the manager of Lotus being Whippy Whip. He's gonna be sorely disappointed, I'm sure, after well, pretty much having a win in the bag here. I think Lotus should have had here is that win, and fortunately, it looks like that is gonna go the way of McLaren today. Obviously, Mario Andretti still fighting off Nelson Piquet. The last 5 laps here, will he be able to hold on? He's still hounding the back of that Minardi. And Andretti doing a masterful job at defending here. The best defending we've seen today. Andretti really showing why he should be in F1 at the moment, even at his old age. Okay, now a good run down the straightaway. Can he pull alongside? No, he cannot. That Benetton just doesn't have the straight line speed to match the Minardi. Andretti is just gonna hold on. And Stefan Johansson now also doing a good job nursing that car home, getting inside the top 10. Obviously stuck at the gravel trap at the start, and at least he is getting the car back home now. Meanwhile, his teammate Roberto Moreno is in P4, which is a very, very good result here for the Aero squad. They were looking solid throughout the preseason, and now they've proven it by having a car here. Obviously, I'm not going to say it too soon, but so far, they look to have some points, and both cars finishing the race, so very solid so far. Moreno now slowly nursing that car. As you can see, he has dropped back quite a bit from Andretti and Piquet there. About 20 or so seconds, 20 odd seconds behind. Just needs to bring the car home now. Meanwhile, Theo Fabi in the second Ferrari, even though it looked at the start of this race like he wasn't going to get much out of it, has done a very decent job. Also probably just trying to bring that car home, saving the engine, saving the tires. Just trying to get those points on the board. Obviously, the last person inside the point paint position will be Thierry Bootsen. Doing a very solid job for the Zaxby team here, and again, I'm sure Edison will be very happy and very pleased seeing that Zaxby up in the point paint positions. Obviously, we have Michael Andretti, who's still trying to chase down here. Andretti, obviously, from the Tyrrell team. And they are the two brothers. Oh no! Transmission issue for Roberto Moreno, which will drop him outside of the points, and that is horrible now for the Aeros. In the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix, the Aeros car is gonna pull out of the points, and oh no, that is terrible to see right now. So one of the Aero cars out. I said it before, I shouldn't speak too soon, because there is a lot that can happen. But one fight we might see here is Thierry Bootsen versus Michael Andretti. two brothers, Domi and Edison, are gonna be having a scrap on their hands here between their two drivers in the last couple of laps here. Does seems Andretti is catching up, so obviously Bootsen will be in the points regardless, but obviously he would want to hold on to that P5. And I'm sure Domi is now shouting over that mic, radio to Andretti, attack, attack, get him, try to get in the slipstream, get past, do whatever you need to do to get past. And it is going to be a very close one. So a very big attrition rate here at the starting round in Brazil. We've had, let's see, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've had 12 reliability issues here today, and then just 2 other retirements. So big part of the grid here retiring. And yeah, it is a bit of a shame to see, but obviously it is the start of the season and teams still have a lot of work to do, so I'm sure they'll improve as the season goes. And obviously circuit here, Jacarepagua, is quite a taxing one on the car. There's a lot of full throttle sections. It is tough for the cars here. But we can see now Michael Andretti pulling up to the back of Thierry Bootsen, and Bootsen trying his best to get that Zach speed, even though it's a bit of an inferior car, trying to get it home in P5. But Andretti now looking onto the straightaway in the slipstream of the Zach speed behind Bootsen. And is he gonna pull alongside? Yes, he is. He is pulling alongside the Zach speed, it seems like, but just not enough so far, not enough. So Thierry Bootsen holding on so far. The Tyrrell just not quite having enough on the straight line compared to the Zach speed, as Alain Prost has started the last lap of the Grand Prix. So Alain Prost leading for McLaren and is looking to get 9 points here today. But I am more interested here now in this fight between Thierry Bootsen and Michael Andretti, as we once again head up onto the straightaway. So Andretti trying to pull alongside, but the Zach speed just has a bit more top speed. But he is going to pull to the inside, and Bootsen squeezes him as they head into turn 1 on the last lap here. A fight for P5 and P6. Oh no! Big issue here. Alain Prost in the last lap with a transmission issue, and he has to pull off. Transmission issue for Alain Prost, and that is gonna get the win to Nelson Piquet. My goodness. What a dramatic finish here as Alain Prost has to pull off in the last lap. Let's see now. Nelson Piquet is surely gonna come through here and is gonna claim P1 with Mario Andretti P2 and Teo Fabi P3. And now we have seen as well Michael Andretti has gotten past Thierry Bootsen. Sorry, I got caught up with Alain Prost dropping out of the race now. And we will see here. I'm not sure if Nelson Piquet might have been a lap behind. I don't think so. But yes, Nelson Piquet now in the lead. As we are now coming to the last corner here. I believe so. So going through Lagoa now. Then will be the left-hander into box. And then we go on to the last corner, Vitoria. And Nelson Piquet will come home out of the very, very tough Brazilian Grand Prix and will end up in P1.
Fantastic drive. Great job.
And Mario Andretti now in P2. Great drive for the Minardi squad. So P2 for Mario Andretti for Minardi. Very well done. And then a big surprise here. Teo Fabi managing to get his Ferrari up into P3. So good points for the Ferrari squad as well. We've had a couple of surprises here today, but yeah, Ferrari, very well done. And Fabi will come home in third position there. Now we have Michael Andretti that did a last lap overtake on Jerry Bootsen. Will now try to come home in P4 here as he heads through box and then into Vitoria. So very well done by the Tyrrell squad. Tyrrell coming across the line in fourth place with the Zach speed of Thierry Boutsen right behind. And then David Brabham, at least it will be only some kind of comfort, obviously, for Ariel Master or Pedro Diaz, as David Brabham comes across the line in sixth place.
Well done. We're in the point.
At least a point there for David Brabham. So not all is lost for the McLaren squad, but obviously they would have wanted more. But in the end, Nelson Piquet winning the race with Mario Andretti in second and Teo Fabi in third. This has been a great Brazilian Grand Prix with a lot of attrition. Hopefully the next one will be as good as this one. Let's take a look here at the full race results. So the Benetton of Nelson Piquet finishing in 1 hour and 34 minutes in P1. Mario Andretti in the Minardi 10 seconds behind in P2. Third, Theo Fabi in the Ferrari 41 seconds behind. Michael Andretti in fifth in the Tyrrell, very well done. Thierry Boutsen as well in the Zach speed 1 minute and 13 behind in P5. David Brabham then scoring the points for McLaren today, unfortunately right behind him in P7. Alain Prost dropping out in the last lap with a transmission issue. Obviously still a decent position for Prost to end up in. Stefan Johansson from the Arrows then down in 8th with Roberto Moreno in 9th. Ayrton Senna also an engine issue in P10. Rene Arnoux with a water leak 11. Jeff Brabham engine issue 12. And then 2 more engine issues for Nakajima and Matsumoto in 13th and 14th. 15 will be Al Unser Jr., 16th Mansell, 17th Ligier Kazuyoshi Hoshino, 18th Fittipaldi in one of the Ferraris, Jeff Lees in the Williams, Zach Speed's Patrick De Wolf in P20, Mika Hakkinen in 21st, and Eddie Cheever in 22nd.